Hi, I'm Jared Dienda, and this is Carnival City, just outside Johannesburg, South Africa. This is where high-risk gamblers come to try their luck at slots and tables. But today, the high-risk gamblers are all here at the monster Gymkhana GRiD, and like all gamblers, they just want to win.
Well, Gymkhana GRiD is kind of a very simple grassroots type motorsport. It's about car control, so it's two mirrored courses that we race through, and once you're done with each side, then you switch and do the other side, and it's about a combined time of both courses together, and you want the lowest possible combined time. It's about technical car control in sliding a car around. So it's great because it's not all about horsepower. My biggest competitor, well, there's actually three of them. So it's three of the guys that I race in the World Rallycross Championship, and it's three of the most talented drivers really in the world. So it's Andreas Bakkerud, my teammate here at Hoonigan Racing, and it's the World Championship winning team of World Rallycross, which is Petter Solberg and Johan Kristoffersson. So three really talented guys in three really good cars. It's tough, and at the end of the day too, it comes down to not only who can make a quick lap time, but who can do it with the pressure at night under the lights on Sunday night. So that's when things get really interesting.
So that's what Gymkhana GRiD is all about. But what have you got to do to win it? Petter Solberg, who won the event last year, is just the man to tell us the best way to attack this track.
So this is Gymkhana GRiD. This is the start of the track. It's three things that is very important to win this race, and I will show you. So here we're coming flat out from the start and into this corner, and we are drifting the whole way, and then we have to get proper traction just at the end to get the best exit.
Hardest part, of course, will be turn 1 into turn 2, where it's a fast and flowing corner, which then tightens. Trying to tame the car so it doesn't go sideways. You want it to keep kind of just straight.
So this is it. Figure 8. Very, very difficult. You have to be absolutely perfectionist. And you can lose it or you can win it here.
You got to be very good on the throttle, not too throttle happy. And you know, a good time to be made up is definitely in the straights, to get the grip down out of the corners, and to shoot to the next obstacle, and not to get too sideways and lose time like that.
This may be one of the most important. 720 around here, just before the finish line. And that's very important to have it perfect. And if you're going to win this race, you have to be well under 1 minute.
So after a day of qualifying yesterday, the top 16 went head-to-head, which saw these 8 drivers as last man standing in the all-wheel drive section. Favourite and defending champion Petter Solberg incurred a 2-second penalty for touching an obstacle, but was still much too strong for Wayne Hay and moved comfortably into the semi-final. The man who invented this event, Ken Block, was given an easy passage into the semis after Riku Taku retired. Meanwhile, Block's teammate in Hoonigan Racing, Andreas Bakkerud, was also safely through against Dimitri Shribini. Newly crowned World Rallycross champion Johan Kristoffersson blitzed Jonathan Buck to book his spot in the last 4. So Solberg against Block and Bakkerud against Kristoffersson, giving us 2 matchups which would be impossible to call. In the rear-wheel drive section, 3-time champion Luke Woodham looks like the man to beat, although Adam Elder has been posting some stunning times. In the all-South Africa battle, it was Otto Graven who kept the home flag flying and progressed into the last 4 after Christopher Long lost it on the first run. That man Woodham was helped in his quest to make it 4 titles in a row when Bagsy made 2 mistakes. So Adam Elder, who's been electric all weekend, meets Danny Cross, and local man Otto Graven has to somehow topple hot favourite Luke Woodham. Let's join all the semi-final action now with commentators Sasha Martinengo and Jared Deander.
Two Brits, here we go. Adam Elder, he is on that far lane, what we call the white lane. He is first across the gantry. Danny Cross, he is right there, but that Zestino vehicle with the high-vis yellow, that is Adam Elder.
And I tell you, Adam Elder got the long shot definitely off the line there. They have a specific course that they have to do if you're just watching it for the first time. If they make any mistakes, Jared, just for people to know, if they get any flags, what does that mean?
That is a 2-second penalty, and it's a great point because we had some interviews with some of the drivers earlier, and basically penalties. Whoever keeps it clean is going to get the victory. I mean, if you hit 2, that's 4 seconds. So when somebody crosses the start line, or the finish line, you got to start counting. Also, another penalty is if you jump the light. Ooh, look at that, Elder. It's a bit of a mistake. It looks like he went a little off of his traditional line. Nice job around the spin cycle, though.
I tell you, it's all about pressure. He comes into the final obstacle.
Look at that, look at that.
Look, he seems to be, you called it a little bit earlier, Jared. You said when the pressure's on, this guy sometimes cracks a little bit. All of a sudden, Danny Cross, he's not that far behind.
Okay, so Adam Elder does cross the finish line first with a 106.96. Danny Cross finishes it just after him with a 109.636 with a time difference 2.672. So
we've just been told, sorry, Jared, that it's a DNF in both lanes. So not entirely sure what that actually means. We're going to find out now. But a DNF would mean that both of them are actually disqualified. But we'll get you clarification on that in a short while. We're watching a bit of the Danny Cross. Too many turns around the obstacles. It comes down to pressure.
So we did get clarification here, and basically there was a 1080 and a 720. So they went around too much. That is the pressure. That is that mental lapse. And we saw that yesterday. So that's a DNF on both of the runs. So right now, this is basically, does it come down to this? We're going to go to the officials moments. Oh, look at this. A massive mistake by Danny Cross.
Went in way too hot, couldn't get onto the brakes, and really, what you really need now is it's going to be a straight fight. Whoever closes the line or passes the start-finish line in this event will go into the final. That is the clarification that we've just been given, and at the moment it looks like it's going to be Adam Elder because that big mistake from Danny Cross a little earlier
ensued. The mistakes that ensued are 2 DNFs. So it comes down to this battle right here. So the DNFs are a wash on that first run. So now it comes down to this time. And look at Danny Cross. You can see Danny Cross, a little frustration there from him. Adam Elder looks like he, successfully has gonna find himself into the finals. And Danny Cross, helmet off, limping his way back to the finish line.
There we go. Watch Adam Elder with a 1:04. Just to let you know, Danny Cross, his car's broken down. These cars
make some noise, South Africa and worldwide. The head hoonigan in charge, Ken Block, number 43 in the Monster Energy Hoonigan Racing Division. Essentially, the final time he's going to be piloting this thing, or is he going to put a stop to the track? So Mr. Hollywood, Petter Solberg, versus Block here in the semifinals. Who's going to the finals?
Ken Block with an incredible start over there. Just watch out for the unbelievable colors that you'll see from Ken Block in your screens. It is just brilliant. But Ken Block is up against it, against Petter Solberg. Solberg's been quicker the whole weekend. Maybe Ken Block's got it dialed in.
This is where they're pushing. They need to push harder than any other previous round. And this is where a penalty could, unfortunately, cause the win or the loss, depending on which side of the lane you are. A slight advantage by Petter Solberg, Mr. Hollywood, in that Volkswagen Polo into the small tire wall stack. Looks like Petter still has an advantage into the spin cycle. Goes Petter Solberg first, Sasha.
No, I tell you, it's all about concentration. You can
crosses the finish line with a 57.42 and Ken Block with a 59.7. And I'd love to say it, but surprisingly, no penalty. So well done, well done. Some surgery performed on track by these two doctors.
Unbelievable how close they get to all of these obstacles, and that's what gets you a time of 57.4. Only 2 seconds. One mistake from either one of the drivers, and especially Petter Solberg, could see Block go through.
Here we go with the second half of this battle, semifinals. Solberg and Block out of the gates, and here we go. Send it, South Africa.
Another long shot there from Ken Block off the line. Let's see if he can hold it all the way through. He really needs to make up time against Petter Solberg. Solberg, of course, is the reigning champion when it comes to Gymkhana GRiD. But Ken Block is the man who started it. He turns 50 next week. He wants the win.
All right, two birthday boys. Who's going to blow out the candles on this Gymkhana GRiD birthday cake? Oh, and look at this. They are neck and neck. Come on, South Africa. Who are you pulling for? Solberg or Block? Ford or Volkswagen? American versus Norwegian. They're neck and neck here, Sasha. Ken Block going into the spin cycle. Solberg right there. This is when you do not make a mistake. Every turn counts. They are 720 away from the finish line. And both these guys are pulling for it. Make some noise! South Africa! Oh, doctor! And going to the times. Again, a 57, and with that, Ken Block has a 159.46, and Petter Solberg with a 156.8. Petter Solberg gets the victory and is going to the finals. As we take a look at this run again, and it looks like they both have clean runs.
More action to come. We'll have the second semis in the rear and all-wheel drive disciplines, then the finals, so stick with us. Welcome back. This is the highlights of the 2017 Gymkhana GRiD from Carnival City, South Africa. Time now for some more semi-final races, starting with the rear-wheel drive cars. Sasha Martinengo and Jared Deander are at the mics.
Wow. That looks like Luke Woodham is getting... Oh, there we go, Luke Woodham. That is very interesting. Had
A little help from his friends.
He did get a little help from his friends, but so the problem is he's got a battery in the car, the alternator's not working, so you know what, you don't want to miss a gear, otherwise you're going to be stuck out there. Otto Graven has got nothing to lose.
You know, as we talked about, you know, we talked to Elder earlier, and Elder said he had issues with his drive shaft. So, you know, Gremlins are showing their ugly head right now. But what happened here? Otto Graven now stalls off the start line.
Oh,
so Otto Graven breaks the beam, and now he is stranded. What is happening here? So Otto Graven attempts to... Oh, man.
That doesn't look good, unfortunately.
So poor Otto Graven loses out to Luke Woodham, who books his place in the rear-wheel final. Now back to the all-wheel drive cars.
Andreas Bakkerud in that Hoonigan Racing Division Monster Energy Ford Focus RS, the Volkswagen Polo of 2017 WRX champion Johan Kristoffersson.
Well, I tell you, unbelievable start from both of them. They both race against each other in the World Rally Cross Championship as well. They are blistering off the line there. And Kristoffersson versus Bakkerud, this is going to be so tight.
You know, Andreas Bakkerud does have some history here with Gymkhana GRiD. This is Johan Kristoffersson's maiden voyage, his freshman year behind the wheel. He's used to road racing, he's used to rally, never done Gymkhana GRiD, but he makes it look easy. Andreas Bakkerud fighting for the head Hoonigan in charge. Snackerud, as he's called, and he wants to break off a bit of the Swedish streak that is Johan Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson.
I got to say, I think Kristoffersson maybe a tenth of a second at the moment. They go into the spin cycle, and of course now they've got the 3 big tractor tires. This is going to be incredibly tight between these 2 young drivers. Bakkerud versus Kristoffersson. The 720 around the big tractor tires, and a race for the line. Who's going to make it? Is it Bakkerud? Is it Kristoffersson?
Oh, doctor, look at this. Let's take a look. Andreas Bakkerud with a 57.709. And Johan Kristoffersson with a 57.5. Only 0.185 seconds separates them. That's less. That's a tenth of a second.
That is incredible. That I really am so impressed with those 2 guys. That is phenomenal racing over here at Gymkhana GRiD South Africa.
Yeah, so taking a look at this, clean runs too. So tidy and fast. That's what you need to win here today. We saw it earlier, and here's Johan Kristoffersson showing off.
Just magic driving from both of these guys. They really are right on it. Just to let you know a little bit more about Bakkerud's car, we'll tell you that in a short while. Bakkerud's changed the size of the rims there, Jared.
Well, he did earlier. He's gone back to the 17s. So he did have 18s earlier in the smoke show. The 17s have worked out for him. The 17s is a smaller tire and, you know, more wheel speed. Is it more traction? You know, it just depends on the setup. But he definitely liked the aesthetics of it. Here we go, the second half of this battle in the semifinals. Who's going against Solberg?
Well, I got to tell you, it looked like Kristoffersson had a slightly better start. There's 1/10 of a second between these 2 drivers.
But look at that, Bakkerud, a lot cleaner around that triple stack of barrels. Now going around the plane, who's going to be the high ace pilot here? Around the spools they go.
It's a penalty for Bakkerud we've seen. He must have touched one of the obstacles between 2 seconds. He's now got to forfeit against Johan Kristoffersson.
So a penalty that is 2 seconds added to Andreas Bakkerud. That could be all the difference. Because look, he does have an advantage now, but only 1.85 seconds separate him. But right now, it's now 2.185 seconds separate him. He really needs a massive jump here in order to beat out Johan Kristoffersson, the winner going against Petter Solberg. And Andreas does cross the finish line first, but unfortunately, I don't think it's enough. Going to the times, and there it is. Andreas Bakkerud, including the 2-second penalty, with a collective time of 158.445. But Johan Kristoffersson, though, 156, 2 seconds, almost, actually just shy of 2 seconds. Johan Kristoffersson edges out. And guess what? If he didn't get that penalty, Andreas Bakkerud would have won.
So a tough break for Andreas Bakkerud, but in the rear wheel competition we can see that Luke Woodham will take on Adam Elder for the trophy.
Well, the finals are set. Luke Woodham, Adam Elder. How is this going to unfold? The road to Gymkhana GRiD ends now. Luke Woodham, Adam Elder, the fireworks are ablaze. And see if that light helps him or hurts him. Lighten up the track. You see Woodham on the green side, wrapping around the triple stack. And Luke Woodham around the double, around the planes. Sasha, looks like they are neck and neck.
They are neck and neck. It's Luke Woodham against Adam Elder. Adam Elder really wants to get one over Luke Woodham. Luke Woodham wants to become a 4 times rear-wheel drive Gymkhana GRiD champion. Neck locks it up a little bit. Nothing between them, but Woodham maybe got a tenth or so above Adam Elder at the moment.
And look at that, Luke Woodham does not have his LED light bar on compared to previous rounds, and the fireworks are firing off, going into the spin cycle. Remember, this is only the first half. I have not seen a penalty on either side, the white lane or the green lane. Here we go, into the 720. They are neck and neck, Sasha. One more go round. Who's gonna cross the finish line first? Look at these guys, nearly sub 1 minute. Boom goes the dynamite. Look at that. Adam Elder with 1 minute, 0.8. Luke Woodham, 101.185, only 0.304 separates them as they get rained down by some fire shower.
Unbelievable driving from both of them as we see Luke Woodham taking his car around there. Just some highlights of the 2 of them. Adam Elder coming with a great surprise. A 1 minute, 0.8. He's 0.3 ahead of Luke Woodham.
Adam Elder, he does have a slight advantage. Luke Woodham. Now we find out as the fireworks go off. Luke Woodham, Adam Elder, lighten it up into the sweeping turn. Here we go, Sasha.
Nothing between them off the line there as well. It's all about keeping that focus. I got to say, Luke at the moment seems to be a little bit quicker, but he has a 3/2 second deficit that he's got to make up that Adam Helder had after the first run.
So Adam Helder with that .304 second advantage. That's practically nothing. They are pretty much even. That is a tire squeal away from grabbing the victory.
I got to say that Adam Helder seems to have a little bit of an advantage over Luke Woodham. Are we going to have a new champion? He made a little bit of a mistake around the short tires, but he's going to run into the spin cycle. Can we have a new champion here, Jared?
Luke Woodham going for more time in a row in Monster Energy Gymkhana GRiD champion. Woodham and Elder coming down to one more 360 turn. Who's coming out on top? .304 seconds. Woodham comes first, but where's Adam Elder? Going to the timing log. And look at this. Do we have a clean? Are there any penalties? We are penalty free. Going to the clocks. Adam Elder with a 203.366 and Luke Woodham with a 202.173. Luke Woodham wins Gymkhana GRiD for a 4th time in a row. Elder and Woodham fight for it, and Woodham comes out on top with just a 1.193 second difference.
So congratulations to Luke Woodham as he takes home the rear wheel trophy. But who will collect the all-wheel drive silverware?
This is the final, Gymkhana GRiD 2017. I don't even think I can call this.
You got this. You'll help me out. And again, this is the first half. They're going to flip-flop sides, but so much talent underneath the helmets and so much engineering underneath the hoods. Here we go. Johan Kristoffersson, Petter Solberg, your current champion, your previous champion, teammates going against each other. And there is your #lit comment right there. Fire in the sky, fireworks firing off, on track and off track.
Nothing between these two guys, I tell you, when it comes to this kind of racing. Petter Solberg, yeah, a couple of more years over Johan Kristoffersson, but this is going to be nail-biting between the two of them.
Yeah, Johan Kristoffersson, 28 years old from Sweden. He overall 10 podiums overall, 7 victories. Just an unprecedented showing in Rallycross, but his first time. Can he take down the boss? Solberg on the left side, the white lane, and then Johan Kristoffersson in the green.
I tell you, Kristoffersson seems to have a big jump on his team boss, Petter Solberg. They're coming up, yeah, I think he's got about a 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second, but it all comes down to the big 3 tractor tires. They're coming around for the last time. Kristoffersson against Solberg, coming up to the line.
Look at that! I'm not seeing any flags raised. A time of 57.215. And Johan Kristoffersson with a 57.231. Petter Solberg with .016 difference.
That is 1/100th of a second between these two guys. What a run from Kristoffersson and from Petter Solberg. Here we go, waiting for the lights.
It is dead even. Who's going to win? Monster Energy Gymkhana GRiD 2017 South Africa. One will be a Volkswagen Polo because they're both Volkswagen Polos. Will it be Petter Solberg or Johan Kristoffersson?
Nothing between the two of them, though Solberg got a little bit quicker off the line. He's got to pick up 1/100th of a second or 60,000th of a second against his younger teammate, Johan Kristoffersson, the World Rallycross champion. Brilliant through the spools over there. Now, of course, it's going to be a run to the left line. Nothing between them, Jared.
Well, here we go. We are wrapping it around the asteroid into the small tire barrier. Not a massive obstacle. Kristoffersson on the left side, the white lane. As Solberg in the green, a little wide swing on the spin cycle. Solberg won last year. Can he go back to back? Is Johan Kristoffersson going to upset here with this freshman season at Gymkhana GRiD? And Johan Kristoffersson crushes first. Petter Solberg comes behind him. Let's make sure there's no penalties. Both clean runs. So, with the time of 1:56.092, Petter Solberg. But with the time of 1:55, Johan Kristoffersson wins Gymkhana GRiD, Monster Energy Gymkhana GRiD, South Africa 2017 to the Swedish rookie, Johan Kristoffersson. So take a look again here. Solberg. He had a few mistakes here and there. He got a bit loose around the spools as well as in the spin cycle.
I got to tell you, Jared, he was a lot slower than he was in some of the other previous events. That pressure getting to him. But Petter Solberg, of course, we know he's going to give his best all of the time. Johan Kristoffersson, this kid is so pinpoint accurate.
Down to the wire. That was close. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was really close. I saw Petter after the first run, and I knew that he was really flying. I saw his times this morning, and I didn't really expect that I could be so close. But you know, when it's final, there's always something extra. And yeah, I had a clean, nice run, and then second round I just tried to stay a little bit more on the safe side and don't overheat the tires. So I'm super happy.
Yes, Johan Kristoffersson enjoys top spot on the podium. A wonderful climax to some thrilling action. I'm Izzy Clark. See you next year.